Guys, we are going to be taking a look at my box. We're going to go through some crazy Dokkan history. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Be sure to smash that like button. The like goal for today is 1,500. Hopefully we can hit that. This video does well. All that stuff. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. So for a rundown of today's video, like I said, we're going to go through my box, where it started, how my journey started with Dokkan, some of when I started uploading content as well. And then we're going to take a look at my more recent characters that I've recently got working on, how my progress is since I've returned as well. So this will be a lot of fun. Now, we actually are starting this. This wasn't planned. We're starting this at login time. So let's see where I'm at. Oh, okay. I'm just shy of 2,000 days. So I believe there's a 3,000 day reward, right? So apparently I'll be able to easy A that Goku. I was one of the first people in terms of YouTubers that was able to showcase that Goku when he came out on the 1,000 day mark. I would be pretty close to 3,000 at this point. Like I'd be like 3,000 would probably be like towards the end of the year, beginning of next year, if I had continued logging in and playing every day. But I've been playing for 30 days straight. Hey, that's legit. Now, I did log in from time to time, but you get my point. So that's cool. I didn't realize I was that close to 2,000. That's something you literally never need to look at anymore. There was a time where like you would hit milestones and it would matter, I guess, but not really when you get that high up. I guess 2,000 is a milestone. All right, so I'm going to add this part in the video, but technically this part was... I recorded the rest of the video like 6 or 7 hours ago. So since then, I've played a bit. I'm not sure if this guy was awoken in the rest of the video, whatever the case is. Here's a look at my box. Now, I'm not going to be able, because I don't want to spend too much time, I'm not going to be able to go into every character, pull up all their link levels, pull up all of their stuff. We would just be here for another hour, right? I'm not going to do all that. But what I will say is a couple things. First and foremost, I didn't put much investment in characters that are either free characters that I didn't care about, like this guy. I do not give a damn. They're probably exchangeable. I do not care. Anyway, so I didn't put a lot of investment in them. But if it was like a prime battle, you know, I'd work on those characters, things like that. And also, one thing that's kind of happened, and this is not a me exclusive thing, this is a everybody thing. If you played and built the hidden potential system on these characters when they were new, when they get easy A's or they awaken if they didn't have it before, whatever the case is, for whatever reason, the meta may change on them. So, like for example, this guy he just got an easy A and he picks up crits. And I've explained this in a video recently that I would pretty much just take this crit off entirely. So I've got a lot of wonky hidden potential system on characters because I wasn't playing and I missed opportunities to summon their dupes and take it off the right way. And I'm not going to sit here and use like, 5 stones each node? Like I'm not, 2 stones, 5, so whatever it is. I'm not going to use 1 billion stones right now fixing that. I've got to like just buy a bunch of stones to exclusively do that and fix my characters. A lot of them are just wonky or bad because of just the way that the game has changed. The meta, the events that they're versus, like things have changed. Right, so that's kind of something that happens a lot with a lot of my characters, and overall, I also was I was a whale in this game, but I never was like a giga whale. Like I was never really somebody that would go like crazy. For example, like this guy just came out, a few other characters just came out. I wasn't the player that was gonna log on and summon him 5 times, let alone like my homie Truth, 16 plus times. That guy's insane. You know what it is? My sanity would dip. Like I can't. The mental fortitude you need to sit through without a skip button on the summons, to sit through that many scouter breaks, I just couldn't do it. I can't. That's like 1,000 of them, probably more. I can't do it. I start getting upset with summons after like 300 stones. I genuinely do. It starts becoming a chore. Without a skip button on summons, that's insane. So kudos. I can't do it. So what I would typically do is I would summon 1 or 2 copies of a character. And after the 1 or 2 copies, I'd be fine. And this is also prior to skill orbs, but you know, when they put that on, oh, that sticker or whatever was on the freeze was pretty nice. This is not a sticker, this is just the animation. I don't really have many stickers on anybody. Anyway, so like when they put in those skill orb slots, and you needed 2 dupes for that last one, that really solidified that for me. But I'm talking years and years prior to that. I would typically summon 2 copies, and then when they came back later, I would just naturally progress them up further to Rainbow. The period I spent or was heaviest on summons was probably around the 3-year anniversary, where some of these LRs at the top of the screen, the first couple of rows, the older ones, the older of the old, because we're all old, I guess. Anyway, when they were popping up, that's when I would probably spend the most and things like that. And That's when I would use the most stones and stuff like that. That's around the time also where Truth popped up and the meta on YouTube stopped being doing like one summon video of all singles with like 50 stones. You could get away with that back then, but then Truth shows up and blows up the meta with 1,000 stone, 2,000 stone, 5,000 stone, like. So YouTube changed. Look at the climate changed with, and then I started having to do that. Everybody started doing it. So yeah, if you were around for that period prior to when Truth really took off, you were able to get away. Like Nano and Ryan would do it. So they would do like dual summon videos every freaking day, and they would probably use maybe 100 stones in a video. Like maybe. So yeah, but that's when I was probably spending the most, around the 3-year anniversary and stuff like that, when some of these LRs are popping up. Let's go ahead and scroll through a little bit further. So like I talked about the fact that I would typically only pull for 2 copies of a character, so that means that a lot of my box is either rainbow or isn't rainbow. A lot of my characters actually have 1 or 2 dupes, maybe 3 dupes. They're like right there, but I never got that last copy, especially if they weren't a character like this that was hidden on like a side banner that I did. I was also not going hard on those banners. I would maybe get 1 copy and I would call it a day. Like, but back then, like, you didn't really need dupes. I'd argue that on a lot of characters nowadays, you kind of need dupes. I'd also argue that that's also not completely true, because the skill orbs do kind of make up for it by allowing your character to still get hidden potential system bonuses that they wouldn't have gotten if they didn't have dupes, right? So it's kind of a weird situation the game is in. The content is very different, stuff like that. I've got some LRs here that need to be awoken. They're all sitting right here on this page, basically. Some of them are reversed. Some of them are also copies. Like, this is a copy. I have all their forms. Some of them are, like I said, are reversed. I've got some heroes characters and stuff here that I never got around to awakening because they didn't have an awakening last time I played. Here's some dupe LRs and Dokkan Fest characters down here that are just chilling in my box. I absolutely need to clean my box. I've been needing to do this for years, technically. The reason why I haven't done it since I've been back is because it's a chore, for one. It's a freaking chore. There's 2,000 characters. And secondly, I don't know what I need. I just talked about hidden potential and stuff. I haven't got around to working on some of these characters, so I don't know if I need these dupes. I don't know if I need to feed them in, things like that. So, yeah. Some more LRs down here, LR dupes. It's LR Nappa. Do I have that character? Oh, I have 2 copies. I haven't even brought it up, so I need to work on that. I've got a lot to do. And this is, like I said, this is when I was spending the most, when I was going the heaviest. Look at all these copies. Look at all these copies of these LRs. And this isn't even like all of them, because I would have other, like, I got to a point where I started just putting them in super attack, because it's whatever, right? And stuff like that. So the rest of, there's so much I need to just clean. So yeah, that's kind of a look at my box right here. In terms of next projects, there's some SRs down here. I'm going to start working on some of those Bardock EZAs from the Mass Saiyan event. That's one thing I'm going to work on too, going soon. And yeah. So anyway, back to the regular video from here. So, okay. This is, okay, let's actually do this. So this is fun. I have it sorted by acquired. We are going to scroll to the bottom where we're going to see my original characters. So I started the game all the way back here. This is the first character in my account that I still have. Now, obviously, it wasn't his UR, or the, yeah, well, he's actually not even been awoken. I have literally left him as is. He's not even reversed. I left bro as is. That is so funny. All right. So I started on Global Dokkan, by the way. My earliest videos, they're probably just like whatever videos, but I think the most memorable original video that I can remember is going to be when the counterpart to that Bojack, the Super Saiyan 2 AGL Gohan, came out. This guy, I was so hyped. I put out a video for him. It was just like a little dumb little summon video. I don't think I even commentated on it, but that was it. And I've talked about this before. That was all the way back in 2015, 16, in that area. When I started, there was very few Dokkan YouTubers. Most notable would be Ichigo. Shout out to Living Ichigo. But I was literally one of the originals on the train, and a lot of the trends that you see in content, this isn't to toot my own horn. It's just kind of reality. Some of the things that people do nowadays or have done for the past years are trends that I kind of started. This also applies to Legends too, by the way. A lot of the way that characters are showcased or things like that are things that I directly had my hands on. Not only, but was a pivotal part of. Anyway, doesn't matter. Whatever. So anyway, I started on Global with this guy. So, well, this isn't when I started on Global. It's just the most memorable thing. Like, I was on Global before that, but I was getting shafted on every banner because, boy, oh boy, if you didn't play Global back then, the game was terrible. I'm not even going to lie. It was terrible. Global Dokkan was so unbelievably bad. So to recap, what they would do is they would rerun the same like 3 or 4 story events over and over and over and over and over and over. And don't forget, over and over and over and over and over times a million. That's all they would do. They would also, so the tournament was going to be like a highly anticipated thing. It didn't come out. It just had a button on it saying coming soon. So there was that. Global Dokkan was an absolute nightmare. It was terribly managed. It was a mess. And it didn't start getting good until that Christmas of that year where they released Super Saiyan 3 STR Goku on that banner, which, by the way, that's about when I downloaded JP, because the JP Christmas banner was nuts. I think JP had double rates, and I haven't even mentioned the rates. The game had terrible rates. So nowadays the rates are really good. Also, the high saturation of SSRs and LRs or whatever it's changed the landscape. That doesn't mean everything you get is good or useful, but it's changed the landscape. So you got to think about it with low rates and low number of those characters. Obviously, it was really hard to pull anything, and the rates were sub 1%. They were below 1% back then. Now it's hilarious because you could actually still pick up gacha games that have rates of 3% or less. I remember when this game jumped from 1% to, I believe, 3%, and then also they just kept going up to like 5 and 10%, where I think it's at now and where it's stayed and normalized at. Obviously, different rarities have different pull rates, but anyway, yeah, Global Dokkan was terrible, and JP had higher pull rates. That's the main point. I think the JP banner had double pull rates, and Global's did too, but just the base rate was higher. So you would basically, the context back then was just Global was terrible. So I moved over to JP. This is actually not my original JP account. Somewhere in there, I started 2 accounts, right? Somewhere in there, I started 2 accounts. This is, I think, the second account, and the original account somewhere in there was on a phone that got destroyed. And back then, so you might tune into some really old Dokkan videos, and you'll see like the scouter at the top being covered up, right? People will have it covered with, like, just an image, or they'll crop it out, whatever. The reason why is, and this is, I assume, not the thing anymore, but the reason why is because just by using that details up there, you could, and like some relative information from your box, like your most recent characters, because technically, it's a violation of copyright to produce videos for this game, because you're not supposed to share any details of your account really with anyone, but they don't really care, right? Anyway, baseline details, they would basically be able to steal your account. They'd go to support and say they lost it, and so I couldn't recover my account because they started being stricter on that process, and I didn't have, like, your player ID and all this other stuff, and I wasn't really spending, so I couldn't use receipts back then. So long story short, I had another account, and I was playing 2, and so on and so forth, and this is the one that I was able to proceed with. This account's still over 2,000. Really, I have logged in 2,000 times, but this account's, like, again, whenever this guy came out is how old that. How many days ago is that? I'm actually going to cross-reference that. Let me just confirm. So again, he's not the original character. He's probably just obviously you start off with ends and all this other stuff, right? But nobody, I imagine nobody keeps those. Anyway, so this guy came out on JP June 19th, prior to October 30th on Global. Yeah. So yeah, it shows you about the time period I was playing on Global as well, by the way. I was playing long before that. June 19th on JP, and that was 3,000 days ago. So yeah, my account is super old. That's why I was like, dude, if I kept playing, I'm pretty sure I'd be over 3,000 days. Just barely. That's hilarious. All right, so all in all, a lot of these characters, this is just a brief look at it. Nothing here really matters anymore. The problem with this is that the other account had some other exclusive stuff that this one just simply doesn't have. Like, there was an Int Super Saiyan Blue Goku that I'm pretty positive I had on the other one from like a V-Jump code or something like that. Also, I was fortunate enough, and it was really beneficial to have 2 accounts back then because I could produce videos without spending as much, or spending at all on one account, right? But anyway, I was fortunate enough on the other account. There's some other like original exclusive stuff like this guy. I think he's farmable now, but this is his initial, when they gave him away. And on the other account, where are they at? Yeah, so here it is. On the other account, I summoned more so on the Arale batch of characters, And I didn't realize that that was the case. I thought I still had physical Arale on this one. I actually don't own physical Arale. So I thought I did. It's a good thing that I own any of them, because they never came back. The reason why, it's a copyright issue. In fact, they brought them back one time and Global never got that second time. Anyway, so I have some of them, but I don't have Superman. I don't have some of those characters. I'm just looking at my box here and I'm realizing how old these characters are. This is the original release of these characters. Like this guy here, Pre-Awakening, obviously. He was a World Tournament reward. I remember his World Tournament being super duper competitive. And again, original releases of, oh my god, Physical Broly shafted me so unbelievably hard. Dude, his banner was so unkind to me. Oh my god, this is such a walk down memory lane looking at these characters. Dude, Physical Goku Black also screwed me so bad. Oh my god. So back here they were doing those monotype leader skills, right? And they were doing like the, what was his original leader skill? Pre-Awakening. He didn't have any key, right? It was just like 100% up, no key. They were doing the 70% with key and then no key, I believe, 100%. So they were doing those, and they were doing it for every super STR, every type, right? And so you'll see those sprinkled in here. Like Omega was one of them. You know, they're sprinkled in. And then we hit like 2-year, where we get Goku and Vegeta Super Saiyan 4s. That's not who I wanted. Some of these characters are awoken, so it's kind of throwing me off, like that Nova. But yeah, so there's that. We start moving on from here. This guy's release was way earlier, but his release is super crazy because he was actually very pivotal. He was one of the main characters that had this leader skill of all types 25%. Super duper strong when it released. This one here, this is from the original release of Dokkan Battlefield. First and foremost, you'll have to look up some videos on it. I have some. I think Nano has one too. Dokkan Battlefield looked tremendously different. It was like a side scroll tower defense type of game mode. It doesn't look anything like it looks now. So like the Dokkan Battlefield or Ultimate Clash, whatever you want to call it, is version 2.0 basically. Version 1.0 looked tremendously different, and what they did was they released it and this character was in there as a prize. And so in the exchange shop as a prize. And so there was a period where if you got this character, it was one of the rarest characters in the game. So up until this point, I've talked about how there were some characters that were exclusives that were hard to get, like that Super Saiyan Blue Goku, who I believe was from a V-Jump code or something like that. It's so long ago. There was some other characters that were really exclusive and hard to get, and also rare. You know, the Arale characters wind up becoming rare. We don't realize it at this time, back here until like 2016 or whatever. And this character became super duper rare for a few months here, because Dokkan Ultimate Clash just goes down. They take it down after that initial like beta version, and they come back with a completely revamped version that it is today, with basically being the game mode that it is, and you know, just having a pretty UI. So that's a nice little rundown memory lane there. Shout out to Matt saying, I had an incredible race with Zenrot. You guys may or may not remember Zenrot. Back at this time, he was very relevant in the Dokkan community. Was I think also a mod? I'm not sure if him and Wookie were mods for the Dokkan Wiki once upon a time. Not Wiki, but Reddit. So yeah, original release of the Cybermen, of course. Nice April Fools. That was like the first like interesting April Fool's thing that they did, right? Maybe I missed a character in here. Oh, by the way, original releases of these guys too. Obviously, everything's the original release. This banner was interesting because it was the first one of its kind, and they actually ran it twice. If I recall correctly, they ran it once, then ran it again. And it was really cool seeing these heroes and fusion characters. And there was also the problem with Global, where Global wasn't getting these characters. Global didn't wind up getting these actual like heroes characters for years, despite them being in the game's files for a really, really long time. We go ahead and move from here. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying, remember, hit that thumbs up, 1,500. So I was kind of heavy on World Tournament, and I'm not sure if there was a means to exchange for World Tournament rewards at this time, but there's like 4 of them in a row right here, right? And so that's kind of cool to see that they're all also awoken. Again, remember, their non-awoken versions were the original versions, obviously, and this is what we were getting. This guy was like one of the original rewards of World Tournaments, if I recall. Anyway, so I was talking about Ginyu. I talked about some of these other characters. Merge Zamasu there. We get some, oh yeah, Mass Saiyan is where I went. This guy was kind of interesting, kind of good if I recall correctly on release, because of the damage cut. He had a low number. I think it was like 30% or something, but it was really good back in this day and age. Int Gogeta, super duper strong back then. And oh, this is where we first get these types of supports. The 40% supports were super duper strong. At least that's my original one, so it's in here somewhere. I'm not sure if that's the original literally, but it's my original, so it's in there somewhere. The 40% supports have obviously been power crept by today's standards, and in fact, I am pretty sure they have awakenings. Yeah, this is the awakening. Anyway, so it goes up to 50. Yeah. So anyway, they were very, very relevant. But back here, we were doing a lot of monocolor teams, right? So we see they moved away from that meta where it was 3-key 70 or 100 with no key, and then it turns into, 3-key 130 or whatever it became. I think it was 3-key 120 pre-Zenkai. Zenkai. Awakening. Extreme Z Awakening. So anyway. Oh my god! Oh my god. Can you guess what I just realized? What I just saw? Dude! To be released! This was 2017. I'm not sure if this was Christmas or what celebration this was. So another reason why Global was terrible, I've already mentioned like how in the beginning of the video they were like rerunning stuff, blah blah blah. I also mentioned how like Global, beside the fact that Global was like doing a lot of things out of order. There wasn't really a lot of like the foresight thing that people like to hang their hats on nowadays. I mean, that was there, but it wasn't like easy to really tell what was happening when and where. I talked about the rates. I talked about the Urale thing and copyrights, and another thing too is these leader skills weren't in the game for Global when they released. I don't remember how long it was, and they obviously never did it again. But Global had this situation where they literally had to use these characters without their leader skills. It literally said to be released. Look it up. To be released Dokkan Battle. It was a meme. These guys did not have their leaders. I'm not sure if they were the start of the category leader skills. It looks like they probably were. And maybe that's also why, because it was some sort of database shift or something. But they had to be released as their leader skill, guys. Insane. We also come down here. It looks like a second batch of fusion characters, which also meant the awakening of some of them, like Broadpan there. Oh, I was super duper unbelievably hype about that guy. Yeah, this is going to be a longer video than I intended for it to be, actually, but I hope you guys enjoy. So this guy, I feel like there's somebody else I wanted to mention. I'm kind of trying to go fast, but I feel like, oh, wait a minute, this guy was a relevant character for a while in terms of just being old and being in the box. He got an awakening there. I forget the method for the awakening, but it was pretty cool to see at the time. Oh, this guy's different on Global. I'm not sure if they ever fixed it, but he is a SR for the Tech Goku. But on this version, he was AGL. I'm not sure if they ever fixed that or anything like that. But yeah, there's that Tech free-to-play SS3 Goku, who I think awoken again further after that. Anyway. All right. So this guy, he debuts when the anime drops this form. And so it's pretty crazy because we didn't know what this was. In fact, a lot of like the fandom was even calling this like Limit Breaker Goku or things like that. Like we didn't know what this was. And he drops without an awakening, which was really weird. And so he gets his awakening, if I recall correctly, a decent bit later, which is obviously not the norm. Typically, characters are going to drop with their awakening. So obviously, fact check anything I'm saying if I'm wrong, like because it's been a long time. I obviously don't remember every little detail. But I feel pretty confident with that. It took a little bit of time to get his awakening. And then we also find out the name of it being Omen and things like that. It's really just, it's Ultra Instinct, Sign, or Omen, whatever you want to call it. You could just call it Ultra Instinct. Some people just call it, well, I guess those are the correct names. I guess the name issues are what people call the white-haired version or silver-haired version mastered. That's not particularly the case. That's just Ultra Instinct. Anyway, moving on. So let's go ahead and scroll through here a little bit. A Skinny Boo popping up. This guy popping up was really, really interesting with the category leader skills back then. Oh, you know who I didn't talk about? Let's talk about the LRs. So obviously the original LR here got an Easy A sometime a little bit when they first. He was like one of the first Easy A LRs. Look at this, the list of LRs when they first are releasing here. Look at this list. Pretty crazy. Where's my Gohan at? Why is Gohan so far up the list? Wasn't Gohan before all those characters? Did I just not get Gohan on time? Gohan should have been Gohan should have been way lower on that list. The It Gohan. I'm pretty sure he's the original summonable LR on this version. On Global, I'm pretty sure it's Majin Vegeta. Because I like distinctly remember like laying in bed pulling him. On Global, if I recall correctly. Gohan came out February 2017. Let's just... Goku Black is the lowest one on my list. I'm going to see Goku Black really quickly here. See when it says his date was on the Dokkan Wiki. So Goku Black and Zamasu was June 2017. Exactly. So I didn't get Gohan for a while. I didn't get Gohan for a while. I don't remember the circumstance with that, but I must have been pissed. I must have been so incensed at that. Oh no, I actually got Majin Vegeta when he released. I got Majin Vegeta. This is the one that I got laying in my bed. Yeah, I was laying in bed and it just like he popped up and I got him. So yeah, Majin Vegeta was the next one here. Gohan was before that. How the hell did I get Goku Black so early? This doesn't make any sense. Did Majin Vegeta come out after Goku Black? That's not the way I remember it. Huh. I mean, that could be the case, obviously, but that's just not the way I remember it. Because, well, Goku Black actually also had the 3-key 90% lead, actually. That's what I'm thinking about. And the way I'm, like, categorizing it. April 2017. Yeah, he did come out before. It's just really weird. I don't remember. I guess I had okay, so I am thinking. So this, I'm probably getting multiple accounts mixed up between 2 JPs and a Global. Because also stuff just popped up in different orders on Global. So that's kind of what it is. Yeah, April 2017. He was after Gohan. And I don't remember what I said for Goku Black and Zamasu, but I'm pretty sure he was before them because I think they were like June. Goku Black and Zamasu were, yeah, June. So yeah, it's all over the place. I guess on this account I got them later. I got them later. But it's weird to see Gohan so far up behind the year 3s. That's kind of weird. It must have took me a really long time. You know what? Okay, so this is also a possibility. What might have happened is with some of these characters, when I started getting dupes of them, maybe I trained the non-newest one. Maybe that's what happened. That actually seems like that's probably the case because he's so high up the list that I actually find that hard to believe. So that's probably okay. But also I'll say this: when LRs first dropped, you have no idea what happened. This is I just remember this. So when LRs first dropped, they weren't even like so like you know how when there's a banner notification in the news, it shows you all the new characters, right? When LRs first dropped, they didn't really even do that. They were just hidden in the freaking banners. They didn't announce that they were coming. There was no new character LR coming. No, they just dropped them in the banners and were hiding. So, and their pull rate was freaking abysmal, especially because there was only one. So obviously, like I talked about earlier, saturation. Or 2 or 3, whatever, as you went along, obviously. So they were just hidden, dude. So they were like impossible. You could spend like thousands of dollars and be extremely lucky to get 1 or 2, right? So it was crazy times for LRs. All right, let's try to speed up a little bit. So yeah, I wanted to talk about them because I feel like they should have been sooner on the list. So anyway, so right around here, we're seeing some more LRs. This is about where we left off. We get the awakening for the Bojack crew, apparently. I don't really care about those bozos. Is there any more notable characters? This is more like almost like semi-modern times where we get like this guy. These are like, I don't really need to talk much about like some of these releases here because they're just releases that you would expect, right? Here's 1,000 Days for me. That's nice. I got him all the way back around the time this guy released. So 1,000 days ago, or 1,000 logins ago for me was around then. Kind of cool. Somebody tell me what the date was on that. I'm not going to pull it up because that just takes too long. This guy, I believe, was the Battlefield 2.0 first LR free reward, if I recall correctly. Got some GT stuff. I don't know why these bozos are in my box. I need to clean my box, clearly. But that's not a surprise. And let's go ahead and from here, because now this is more modern times, let's talk about where I'm at with some of this stuff. So I made my return, right? So I had been logging in. As you see, like the year 7s were down here quite a while ago. I had pulled Goku and Piccolo. I still haven't worked on them, actually. Like, I pulled them when they first came out. So I had been logging in. I had been doing some summons. I got the year 7s from exchanges. I had the coins for them just passively. So in this period right here, I was just kind of like pulling randomly. I would just kind of log in randomly and pull because I wasn't intending on coming back. I actually kind of regret things like buying them with coins or pulling from time to time. I didn't get some characters. I got some characters. Like I pulled on Carnival Omega apparently because he's like apparently one of the newer Carnival characters. I didn't even know what I was doing. I just logged in and had gems, stones, and I pulled. And I'm not even an Omega fan, so I don't know why I pulled on his banner. In fact, correct me if I'm mistaken. Was there a Gohan on the banner? Because the only reason I would pull is if there was a Gohan on the banner. It might have been Gohan and Trunks. Was it Gohan and Trunks? Like that's literally the only reason I would have pulled for an Omega. Not that he's bad or anything like that. I'm not an Omega fan. So anyway. Yeah, so I have him. So I would log in from time to time. I would do some stuff. And so I'm still working on some characters. So obviously I've shown a lot of things, and there's a lot that I need to do. You see where it's kind of sprinkled in? Because I made my return right around here. I think the androids were like the first, well, I guess Vegeta, probably. I haven't worked on the Vegeta yet. But this bottom row here is like my first, actual premium characters. I didn't really summon. I returned a little bit sooner than this, but I didn't summon. You guys saw my first summon video when the Piccolo returned on that Goku and on this celebration, the first part of this celebration. They brought these characters back, and I was fortunate enough to pull several. Like I haven't worked on some of them. I haven't worked on Cooler. I've worked up sparingly on some of them, like this guy, who actually is going to be one of my more up-to-date projects. I'm going to try to build that, I think, Super Saiyan team up and stuff like that. And you see more modern characters in terms of like the Gohan here. So this is kind of where things have been for me since I've returned. Now, that's just in terms of summons. Let's go ahead and log in here and check out Easy A's. Because I've still got a lot of Easy A's that I need to complete. I'm working on this one currently. I was actually kind of just doing it because it was a pretty easy one. So I've done these more recent ones as they've popped up, right? The more recent ones I've done. I need to do that one. I haven't done it, obviously. Haven't done this one yet. I'm working on that one currently. I just got this one done. So something that kind of was being a bit of a pressure point for me was trying to complete some of these where it's like, use a certain team. Obviously, they all have a condition. Particularly the LR ones were a lot more difficult because you also need to use legendary power or you're going to get shredded. You need to use the category and legendary power. And so not playing as much, not having my account built up, it was kind of hard. I had to kind of do some roundabout things. I think Beerus was one of the more recent ones that I did because he had a condition that I couldn't really meet, basically. I either will not have the leader skill for certain categories because I just don't own the characters for it, or if I try to make a team within that category, like under a different leader skill, maybe I don't have all the characters, maybe I don't have them built, maybe I need to Easy A some other characters to do a further Easy A. So it just was like a really big loop and roundabout way of doing it. So Beerus was one of the ones I struggle with. In fact, this one I haven't completed because it just got too difficult because I didn't... Okay, well, I'm not going to look at it. I didn't have whatever they wanted here. I don't know exactly what it was, but I tried theirs relatively early. I probably can do it. In fact, I'm still on the site, so I can pull it up on the side. Easy A for them was for Legendary Power and Planetary Destruction, which I think is Beerus, actually. No, it's not Beerus. So I don't even have this leader. The leader for this is Int Broly or LR Golden Frieza. I don't even have a leader for this. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. And I'm sure that's not actually all that common. I've got to find a way to build a team within this. And some of the better characters I just don't have. So it's kind of well, I do have some of them, I guess. I can do like... I can build my Cooler and maybe make a Terrifying Conquerors team or something. Like, that's kind of what I'm talking about when I say I've had a really roundabout way of doing it. I did Piccolo relatively early. In fact, I love him. He's actually super duper good in my opinion. One of the better Easy A's that I've seen. Haven't done them yet, but shout out to them for Once Upon a Time being debatably the best character in the game. I say that because people hated them, but they were up there. Anyway, still doing them. I haven't even looked at theirs yet. These were some of the first ones I did because I like those characters. I actually don't own this guy, and I'm pretty sure I have him on global. I have a global account. I haven't even bothered trying to log into it. I'm scared of logging into my global because I don't know where it is. I got some insider info that this guy was coming out. In fact, this guy's release, I mean, this is technically NDA stuff, but I doubt Bandai's listening to this, so whatever. This guy's release might have been one of the last times where, because this was like Christmas of 2019. He was global first too, right? I think he was global first. This is so annoying. I've got to pull it up now because my OCD is not going to let me just like forget it. I'm pretty sure he was global first, and it was 2019 Christmas, and then he came to JP. I'm already on it, so yeah. But anyway, I had some inside info for this. Back then, Bandai would collaborate with me a decent bit on this game. They may or may not do the same for Legends currently. Can't really say. But on this game, they did, and they don't anymore in this game. So anyway, yeah, it was global first. 2019, December 9th, global. April 2020 on JP. He actually just got an Easy A this year. Interesting. He got an Easy A first on JP. He just got his Easy A a couple months ago on global. That is so funny. He got an Easy A. So like it makes sense why he got it first on JP. It's just funny that he released on global first. So technically they waited longer. Anyway. This guy I haven't done yet. I haven't done this guy either. I did do his for my Vegito video, so his was a little higher on the list. I did that one semi-recently, just did these two. I'm really excited about the Gohan. I like him a lot. And there's also, this is just Easy A's. There's also like easy areas that I haven't done yet. I didn't even know this guy had an Easy A. You know what it is? I'm noticing that like basically all the characters, Dokkan Fest or LRs from like 2019 and 20 or even earlier, obviously, have Easy A's. There are some that I've seen that don't have them, but most of them have it. So yeah, this is my progress. I have just obviously a lot of stuff to do. Oh no, actually down here, we're going to start. Oh, I didn't know they had some. Again, like I just said, they pretty much all have them. We're going to start hitting some that I just need to do sooner than later. Or that we're going to start hitting a list of characters that I did do already. I think we're already there now. Yeah, I think we're at all the old ones that I already had done when I was playing. Yeah, okay. And I don't think there's anything in keys. There's probably one or two events, like some crossover event or something, right? Let's see. Yeah, so I haven't done those ones yet. I need to go do those. All right, so next up, let's talk about my more recent characters that I'm working on. I was fortunate enough to pull him. I think he's like the second to newest, most recent Carnival character, right? Something like that. Anyway, I'm excited about pulling this guy. I am going to work on him. It's just I have other characters I want to work on. So I was so excited about this. So I actually did log in and pull for them when they released in like, 2021? I didn't get them. I was kind of annoyed. If I had got them, I might have came back sooner. Not even gonna lie, I might have came back sooner, at least for a couple of videos. So I didn't get them, so I just kind of said, nah, F this game, I don't care. Oh, wait a minute, but I did get AGL Kid Gohan, who I don't think I've even awoken yet. Oh, I forgot about him. Dude, what am I doing? I'm slacking. So I don't know if he's good. I don't even care. I do not care. Do not tell me he's bad. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I'm gonna work on it. Anyway, that's actually becoming my low-key, like my biggest pet peeve. It's always been the case with this game, by the way. But people like to throw it down your throat whether a character's good or not. And it's like, okay, yeah, I get it, but that has nothing to do with my enjoyment. So, like this character, I think they're okay. I don't think they're anything great. But I really like them. I really like. You see my card, the Legends version right there, which, by the way, the Legends art is insane. This one's cool too. I like the different perspective being from the front rather than the side. I guess more of an angle, right? But anyway, yeah, I'm so excited about them. And dude, my most anticipated, most wanted character was this freaking Gohan. Oh my god, I didn't know he existed. He's on the Trunks banner, obviously, and I've done like, so I did my summon video. I've done another like 2 or 3 rotations. The reason why is because I did my Infinite Dragon Ball histories, and dude, Infinite Dragon Ball history gives like a shit ton of stones. I had like 13 of them or something like that. I ran through them all now, but they gave a lot of stones. I would play like 2 stages and I had a multi. It was really funny. Anyway, I was so happy I got him. And actually, I was summoning on the Trunks banner, and my prayers were like, just give me the Gohan. I don't even need the Trunks. Just give me the Gohan. Like, I'm going to do one more rotation for Trunks. Actually, I think that's 1 more multi. I think I'm already there. 2 more multis. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to do it. But like, I was so happy I got the Gohan. I was terrified I wouldn't get him. I actually really want the Kai Goku, but I also don't want to try my luck. The Kai Goku's on the other banners. I don't know, man. And by the way, I got a dupe. In the last multi I did, I got a dupe. So that's pretty awesome. No, the free multi before the last one. So yeah, that was my most anticipated character. I didn't know he existed, and I am so unbelievably happy that I pulled him. Also, I'm really happy I was pulling some superhero characters just randomly in the banner. I pulled Pan, I pulled Goten and Trunks. I think I heard, again, Goten and Trunks probably aren't the greatest. Don't care. I do want to make a superhero team, which I think that'll be fun. And I want to get back to doing more wacky videos. So all in all, that's kind of how things have been for me as a bit of an update. I am still going to do another kind of more recent update whenever I get Truth on. He's kind of busy right now with the billion videos he's doing for the celebration, so not really bothering him right now, but I am going to do more. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, remember, thumbs up. 1,500 is our goal, and I will see you all next time. And stay tuned because we are going to do the 2020 edition of the Super Attacks, and I will do it in a different manner than I did the last video. More akin to the first one, but better. All right.